Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel where we make research and statistics easier, especially for English language learners. In today's video, we're going to focus on something which is very useful. It is about pair t-test or dependent t-test. If you're comparing pre-test and post-test scores in the same class, this is the tool that you need. Let's walk through what it is, when to use it, and how to analyze the data using the SPSS. So when do we use the pair t-test? Use it when you are comparing two sets of scores from the same group of people. That means the data are related or paired. Let's say you give students a pre-test before intensive reading training and then a post-test after the training. You want to know, did they improve? So here we understand that there are same students, two different times of tests. So what you should do is you have to use pair t-test. There is a rule in understanding the number in SPSS calculations. So if the p-value is less than 0.05, the interpretation means that the difference is statistically significant. So the decisions that the researchers must take is that he or she must reject the null hypothesis. If the p-value is above 0.05, the interpretation says the difference is not statistically significant. So it means that it fails to reject the null hypothesis. So what is p-value? P-value stands for the probability value. It is used in hypothesis testing to help you to decide whether to reject or not reject the null hypothesis. So here are data taken from a real research already published in a journal. So the researchers would like to know the comparisons, the difference between the pre-test and post-test. In the pre-test here, the researcher already posted some scores like students 147, students 260, students 327, until 35 students. Similarly happened to the post-test. And at the end of the table, the researcher posted the mean scores between the pre-test and post-test. And based on the statistical analysis using the IBM SPSS, the result shows that, like this table. In the research article, the researcher mentions that the significance value of two-tailed pair sample t-test is 0.000. As presented in the table above, the two-tailed paired sample t-test significance value is lower than 0.05. It means that the alternative hypothesis must be accepted in place of the null hypothesis. So here we can understand that the null hypothesis is rejected and the alternative hypothesis is accepted. Now it's time for us to practice to do a statistical calculation using the SPSS. How to do it? Firstly, you have to type your data in, whether it is in an Excel or in a document, or you can also directly type it in the SPSS. So if you type it in the Excel, so you can copy the score, both the pre-test and post-test, like in a screenshot, and paste it in the SPSS data view. After that, if all the data already been posted in SPSS, what you should do, you have to click the Analyze button. Then you go down and find the Compare Means menu, and you can go to the right and you can find the pair sample t-test, and you have to click it. After that, if you can see this kind of box, so you can see that there are two variables that you already put in the left column box. There are pre-test and also post-test. And after that, you can use the arrow to insert the left column variables into the right part, like what you can see on the below corner. So both of the variables already been in the correct place. If you have finished to do that, you can click OK, and you can finally find the result of the statistical calculations using pair sample t-test, like what you can see from the screenshot at the below part of this screen. Based on this result, so as a researcher or the author of an article, so we have to decide whether we have to accept the null hypothesis or the alternative hypothesis. So based on the data shown in the table, that the significant values is below than 0.05, so it means that the null hypothesis is rejected and the alternative hypothesis must be accepted. So the next part is, I have a question for you. What if you're comparing two different groups, not the same students? Then you'd use an independent t-test. We'll cover that in another video. So that's the pair t-test, a simple but powerful tool to analyze before and after data in the same group. Perfect for your classroom experiment, teaching strategies and more. If this helped you, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you want to know more SPSS tutorials or example for language research. Keep learning, keep growing. See you in the next time.